another day, another blessing, another win.
How Kilimani are actually a perpetuation of imperialism and westernization. Anyways, I know it sounds crazy, but you gotta listen to me, you gotta listen to what I have to say. First things first. Who is a Kilimani? Kilimani is a man or woman from Kilimani, Kileleshwa, Lavington.
Oh, bro, first of all, I'm going to apologize for the swearing words. It's a reaction video, so I'm not able to control what the other guys are saying. But basically, I don't know, bro, if Africans we are entitled to using that N word. You feel me? For me personally, I don't feel like, or whenever I find myself trying to use it, I always like restrain myself. You feel me?
Karen, okay? Like, to me, that's all the same genre of neighborhood. Anything middle to upper class, I'm putting you into this Kiliman nigger bracket. And I'm also using Kiliman nigger gender neutrally henceforth. Okay, my laptop is dying when I'm trying to explain this. Why am I saying, okay? And then one thing I want to talk about this, when I talk about this topic, is that I want to make it specific that the problem is not anti-blackness, because we see that Kilimani niggas do lean into black UK culture, they do lean into black American culture. Like, that's not the issue. The issue itself is Afrophobia, otherwise known as anti-African sentiment, which is described as a perceived fear and hatred of the cultures and peoples of Africa. Now, we need to understand, where does that come from? Okay, straight after colonialism, a lot of people had to kind of perpetuate westernized ideals for them to be seen as successful, because that was a standard that was set after colonialism. The way that, like, I'm like, my mom has permed hair. Like, I have never seen her with an afro in my whole life. I was the one who fought to have an afro. Like, she just, I've never seen her with it. The fact that I had to wear suits and like get office jobs, all that was like post-colonial. And you'll see that they also seem to lean away from African culture itself. That's why most of these Kiliman niggas can't speak Kiswahili. They don't take matatus. Like, to them, everything that is close to poverty is also close to African culture. So they avoid African culture entirely. And then you see, like, how to explain this? Like, you just see them acting in very anti-African ways, because they've been taught that's how civilized people are. So the closer you are to the Western way of living, the higher your class is, but also the more respectable you are. So when I see Kilimani niggas who genuinely, like, they don't listen to Kenyan music, they don't eat Kenyan food, they're scared of getting into matatus, I'm just like, oh God, like, oh brother, it's so, I don't know, it's very unnerving, and also shows like a bigger issue. What I'm really proud about is the fact that I feel like more Africans are leaning back into African culture, but we still have a long way to go. So please put Frank Ocean down and play some more Cardinali. Like, learn some Kikuyu, learn some Luo, bro. Like, what are you doing?
Alright, boys, as you've heard from the video, the female was trying to explain on how the Kilimani guys have detached themselves from the Kenyan culture or African culture as a whole. You feel me? So she's talking about something like they avoid the Kenyan matatu. So on that point, personally, I feel like it depends, Let's say the essence of using public transport. There are these characteristics of a good transport system. It should be secure. It should provide comfort to the users. You feel me? It's not bad for someone to feel like, for me personally, I feel like sometimes the matatu culture is rowdy. Let's say during rush hours or any time you're going to board a matatu, right? For example, ukienda kupanda Embasava Sacco, kunakuwa na mat zingine hapo mbele hapo hivyo along Tomboa, just beside archives, ukipiga hiyo right turn, and before ufikie hizo Embasava, there are some other ones that ziko hapo mbele. Sasa hapo unapata kuna zile those matatus zenye zimepimpiwa, with graffitis, zile genje. One characteristics of those matatus is that they charge a higher price compared to the normal, let's say, Embasava matatu. Now you find that the music is loud. So for me personally, I try to avoid those matatus because I have this thing that I don't sit well with places where there is loud music. I'm a guy who appreciates silence, peace. Okay, sometimes there is a little bit of noise, let's say if you have gone to a party, you can't control that environment. But most of the times, pale penye mi nakaa, you will find that I don't have same speakers ama nini. If I listen to music, it's just through the laptop's audio or the phone's audio. You feel me? It's a matter of preference. I feel like you now don't wanting or not wanting to use matatus as a whole, like kabisa hutaki kutumia matatu. Now that's where the problems comes in, cause as much as you appreciate the, let's say, UK culture, US culture, that vibe of rolling with, let's say, Ubers, a much more comfortable stuff. Couldn't afford is cool. But I feel like, and you to solve these things of, let's say, public transport to provide, let's say, comfort for other users and stuff, we should first recognize the challenges that we have. Whenever you want to change, you must first recognize or accept the challenges that you have and say, okay, I want to get money, but right now I don't have money. What's the situation right now? What are the resources I have? What are the challenges? What are the solutions? Now, at the end, you will come up with other solutions. Categorizing the Kilimani guys, Kilimani is a place in Kenya. Yeah, let's say it's I don't know if it's middle class or upper class, but of course not the lower class. For me personally, I tend to categorize the classes as relative. You feel me? Because most of the times, let's say people from Kitisuru, Mudhaiga, Karen, those areas, they are classified as high class people. You get into contact with a guy from Karen, not everybody, but let's say just a person, okay? A particular person. I feel like this guy will tell you, if you ask him, like, are you an upper class person? Maybe they can tell you, like, not yet, because maybe their standards are higher. They are used to that place. They are looking up to other people now. Other people, by saying other people, I mean that people like having a net worth of billion status and such numbers. You feel me? It's just a level, it's relative. Because if you go to the other lower standard people, if I pick a location, let's say there's ghetto areas like seme Mukuru kwa Njenga or those slums, you feel me? Those ghetto areas, Kibera, ama vitu kaa hizo. They are considered as lower class people. But at the end of the day, bro, if you find this guy, he has gone to work from morning to evening, bro. He's contented with what he has, bro. Like, he's cool with what he has made throughout the day, as long as at the end of the day he has a way or means to provide food to his family. You feel me? He's cool, bro. He has ways to pay rent for his family, to provide shelter for his families. There is this urge of everybody as humans wanting to live a better life. You feel me? And there is nothing wrong with that, bro. Because I feel like majority of the people, when they hear about US, they think that, okay, United States is this dope country, everything Disney, I don't know what, but like it's portrayed in the movies. But bro, let's face the reality, bro. In US also, there are slums, bro. There are slums in US, bro. I'm not sure because I'm not, of course, I'm not a resident. I'm not a US resident. But let's say a place like Harlem or some places in New York. They are slums, bro. Like, they are not shown in the media, mainstream media every time. But if you go there, you will find slums, bro. LA, bro. LA in Hollywood, where we have these celebrities showing us these lifestyles and stuff. We have people struggling, bro. We have gang members, they have nothing else to do. We have some guys who are forced to, I'm assuming that they are forced into unruly lifestyle because of lack of something. You don't have something, so you just want to go and steal. You feel me? Based on the Kenyan food, man, come on, bro. How can you hate the Kenyan food, bro? How can you? Mutura, bro. Una hate aje mutura? Come on, bro. Like, for me personally, it will come down to, let's say, some specific factors which will play a role in deciding or on deciding the food that I'm going to eat. Is, for example, let's say the medical condition or your medical condition, bro. If you are diagnosed with a certain disease, okay, your doctor told you not take do not take this particular food. Okay, that's understandable, bro. But you, like, just hating all the foods, it doesn't make sense, bro. But anyway, it's a matter of preference. Nobody will come to punish you that you don't like this or you don't like that. when we are speaking about language, it comes down to the purpose. Why are you using that language? For me personally, like English is not my first language. That's for sure, bro. English is not my first language. It's like my third language or what. What makes you will ask me like, okay, why are you using English? The first reason is that if you look at from the first time I started creating content, I always did videos in English language, you feel me? Because most of the people that influenced me or most of the people that I got inspiration while watching their videos, they are basically people from UK, people from US, and YouTube basically started in the US. So of course they are going. Most of the content will be English in English, American English and stuff. So I feel like from my metrics, from the statistics in YouTube or on YouTube, the ones they provide, on how I view them is like most of my viewers are from English, mostly from English speaking country. So what's the reason for me not to use English in my videos and yet it's justified? And the other reason that I use English is because I know it because you have been taught in Kenya English from the time we entered Uko baby class. I know nowadays they have changed that system, but during our time, ilikuwa baby class. We have been taught English since then. Although it might not be perfect because it's not our language, bro. English came with the Englishmen. Like we are talking right now, I feel like you can understand me. You feel me? And that's what matters. For me, there is no reason to avoid other languages like our own language, Kiswahili. Although I'm not also fluent in Kiswahili, but a combination of Kiswahili and other languages now that we call Sheng, you feel me? And my other local language, I'm not able to use it. There was a time that I had gone to visit my grandma, bro. Like every time I visit her, like there is always this challenge, she doesn't know how to communicate in Kiswahili very well. And I also don't know how to communicate in the local language very well. So there is this kind of back and forth challenge. But because I'm the younger one, I feel like I'm obliged to adapt to her way. So I force myself, bro, to communicate in my local language. But for sure, I can understand what he says. Now the problems comes in when trying to speak. My family moved to Nairobi while we were young, so that environmental change, you find other people speaking other language, and the common language now is maybe Sheng, Swahili, and now you are taught English in school. You feel me? The music she was talking about Wakadinali, bro. Bro, I've been not that Wakadinali fan, like fan, but bro, I've been listening to Wakadinali, bro. Like, come on, bro. It's a flex if you find people listening to your entire album, bro, without skipping any song, bro. Do you know how crazy that is, bro? The only artist I can listen to their albums without skipping any song, bro. Without skipping any song. I know what you are thinking about Drake. No, I I can't listen to Drake's album without skipping, bro. I skip majority of Drake's album song. The latest Drake album is For All the Dogs. And For All the Dogs, I've listened only to his songs with this one is called IDGF with Heat, you feel me? And there's another one, this one with Caesar and Sexy Red and some other few. All those other ones I skip, bro. And maybe there's another one, this one with J. Cole, something Fast Point Shooter or something. But majority of Drake's albums I skip. The only artist I can listen to their entire album, bro, is Post Malone, bro. I remember I've listened to, is it Bentleys and Beer Bongs or something of that sort? The entire album, bro, without skipping from the intro to the end. And there's this other one, Hollywood's Bleeding, yeah. And come on, of course, bro, Wakadinali, bro. I remember there is this album called Wakadinali's album. How is it called? Victims of Murders, bro. Bro, come on, bro. That album was lit, bro. The first impression it gave me is that I can relate to what they are saying. When you are listening to gangster rap albums, the ones done by guys like King Von, you feel me, Lil Durk, they mention places like Chicago. I know Chicago is in US, but I've never been to that place. So I might not be able to relate to what they are saying. I might be able to understand maybe because of the mainstream, let's say what Chicago is known about, but I've never been to that place. But bro, when Wakadinali wanaimba kuhusu kitu kama Outer Ring Road, I can relate, hao ni wasee wetu, they are saying about places I've been to, Doni, Jiwapi, Kilimani, hizo places, when you get, there is a reason to stick with my people. the music, hata kama most of the time I listen to Western songs, and by there I'm seasonal. I change genres all the time. Maybe learn for now I think it's trap, yeah, trap. But next time nita change niingie ama piano maybe, alafu ama piano pia kibom I go to Afrobeats ikibo nirudi ngoma za Kenya na nakwanga hivyo. Appreciate our local artists, bro. Even if they are not called international, bro. In our minds, they are international, bro. Because they are the ones who are going to put our name out there, bro. You feel me? And even if you have the money, you have what, nini nini, uendo ishi majuu, this will always be home. This will always be home. Because this is your last resort. If anything happens, pali umeenda sema majuu ama nini, let's say the worst happens kitu kaa udedi, I think most of the time nini body yako itarudishwa huku, cause huku ndio kwenu unaniget. Give love to your own country, to your own culture, your own food, and peace out.
I'm about to go big. Yeah. You know what I mean?